The DCU is in a really interesting spot right now. It's coming off of its first box office flop and people weren't really feeling the first trailer for Lanterns. If you go to some corners of the internet, it feels like WB is days away from executing the entire universe. It's very fitting that one of the main themes in Lanterns is fear. If you ask the DC fan if they were afraid going into this show, they probably would have said yes. But then we got that trailer a couple weeks back and expectations started to change, followed by reviews saying it was one of the best superhero shows ever. Green Lantern is an area of comics that I've always found interesting before I started reading them. I've been wanting to read Blackest Night for like a decade, and I really like David Lindelof's Watchmen show, so I was pretty excited for Lanterns. But before we go into episode 1, hello, I'm some guy. The name's Matt. I make content on games, movies, and shows. With some shows like I break it down episode by episode, and I will be doing that with Lanterns. If that interests you, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Doing those things helps a small-time yapper like myself continue to yap on the internet. With that out of the way, let's talk about the episode. Overall, the pilot was great. It's not my favorite one ever, but it did a really good job of setting up an interesting show. Honestly, it left me feeling the same way as Watchmen's did when I saw it in 2020. It does a solid job of introducing the characters and setting up the mystery at hand. Basically, all of the scenes with John and Hal are great. I just love how antagonistic they are to each other.
How come it is every time you say sir, it sounds more and more like fuck you?
I have no idea, sir.
Hal basically tries to kill him as a part of a test, and he only really did it because John annoyed him in that moment. I didn't know Hal Jordan was like this, but I'm so down for it. And that's an energy he carries throughout the entire episode, so I'm assuming he will continue to do it throughout the entire series. Like later on when John talks about how he would handle the investigation at the football field, Hal lets him do it even though he knows it's going to blow up in his face immediately. And it proceeds to do so.
I just fucked up, didn't I?
The new guy looking to prove himself under a vet is a classic dynamic, but making the vet even more of a reckless hotshot than the new guy is so smart. It makes John the perfect audience surrogate. Like, I wouldn't expect Hal to act like this, but I only know him from that movie we don't talk about. In universe though, he is very famous and people love him, so I imagine they too wouldn't expect him to act this way. And we get to see all of this through Jon Stewart. John, despite kind of being sick of his shit, still isn't fully adjusted to how reckless he can be. Him and his father still have beef with Hal, and they're not fully ready for how psycho he can be. Their dynamic is so good. If they were the only good parts in this episode, I still would have liked it. But luckily, the mystery that they're building towards is very interesting. All we know until the end of the episode is that there was a shooting that may involve aliens. All we know after the episode is that the aliens might be trying to do a war. There are people training to fight the aliens. And one other thing I'll save for later. With this being the only episode that I've watched so far, I can't really speak too much about what it's setting up because I don't know where it's going. The interrogation scene is my favorite moment from the episode. How Hal susses out the alien is so smart. Because yeah, if this dude has been body snatched, the alien would know everything about him. But why would he know anything about some other massive WB IP if the guy wasn't into it at all, even if it was common knowledge? Why would he not have an opinion about the president? And I think this scene was very much needed to prove that Hal is competent because throughout the majority of the episode, he's not. Like, he doesn't really do anything smart throughout the entire runtime up until this moment. John seemed more worthy of the ring throughout the entire episode, honestly, up until around that moment. So far, I think I like John more than Hal, but it's close. The rest of the supporting cast is good so far. The only one we really get to spend any period of time with is Sheriff Carey. I think she's going to be a fun character to follow as the situation gets crazier and she just ends up more and more over her head. It's really funny that the random lady that John ends up sleeping with ends up being the militia leader's wife, which, funny joke about that aside.
Delicious.
Good. Nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
How old are these people? Honestly, very sus considering there's some body snatching aliens running around. We get very little of William, but I really don't trust him at all. This is how he's introduced by his daughter-in-law.
My father-in-law's got paper on you and you haven't even met him yet. You can just fly on home. Spare yourself the moment not too long from now when you wish you'd never come to this place.
The whole thing with his boss is very weird. We just get so little about him and none of it was good. Zoe banging John and then seemingly telling William about it is also very weird.
Jesus Christ, we've only been here 24 hours. I'm impressed.
Yeah, so far I don't trust anyone in the show. It's only really John, Carrie, and Hal. Even then, John and his dad are clearly up to something. Carrie is a good person, but is wrapped up in something that she doesn't want to be in. Hal is also hiding something, and he's dead now. Oh, we got ourselves a show now. Going into this, we all knew it was going to be inspired by True Detective, so I knew it was going to take place at 2 different points of time. But I was expecting it to be when Hal got the ring and the current case. Based off of what Hologram said, they're connected. And something big is coming, but we don't know what it is. Okay, you kind of know if you watch the trailers, but let's just pretend that you didn't. So when it cut to 2026 and Hal was dead, I was shocked. I believe we did know the show was following the murder of a Green Lantern member, but I don't think anyone expected it to be Hal. All I'm assuming now is that the 2 main timelines we're following is 2016 and 2026. And I have no idea where this is going now. One thing I'm super curious about is how Guy Gardner fits into all of this. If Hal is training John to be his backup, what's the point of Guy? Is Guy only a lantern to handle terrestrial stuff, while Hal does more extraterrestrial stuff? I feel like they're going to need to say that now that Hal is dead and the ring is gone. Put Guy on the suspect board alongside the aliens and William, I guess. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, we don't even have a motive yet. I am so excited for the rest of this season. Overall, this was a great introduction to the show. The cast is great, the moments were great, and the mystery has me locked in. And Hal being dead in 2026 is a perfect way to end it. While I'm watching next episode, I'm going to be focusing on how sus everybody is. What could have possibly led to Hal being dead in that very stadium? And what role do the aliens play in all of this? I just hope that they don't hide one aspect of the aliens for too long, because again, it was in the trailer. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to spoil anything outside of the episodes. This really feels like it's just the beginning, and things are going to get crazy in both timelines very quick. If you want more DC content, good news, I got a playlist right here for you. And let me know what you thought of the episode down below. I'm really curious what you guys think is happening, because I have no idea what's going on. And if you enjoyed this video, like, hype, and subscribe. I hope to see you all next week. Take care.